Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Farm Simulator 2017 and welcome back to Upton Farm. So like always, several experiments going on today. First thing, let's get the oil changed in the JCB. And I'll tell you what I got going on for experiment number one. So we were trying that Action was the name of it for game capture, and it was just killing frame rate. Oh, it was terrible. It was killing frame rate. It was like cutting it in half. And I figured, well, I've had some drivers download for my graphics card, NVIDIA drivers, and apparently there's a new version of GeForce Experience, which is Shadowplay is a part of GeForce Experience, so you get a new GeForce Experience. I would think you get a new Shadowplay, right? Give it a try. And I tried it on Euro Truck, and I got that same just massive, like slowing down to 2 FPS bottleneck. Makes me crazy. But Shadowplay played pretty nice with Farm Sim for the longest time. So we are capturing in Shadowplay today. And that's the first thing. We're going to see how that goes. And I went through and I changed a lot of graphics settings in a lot of my Sims. I've gotten really spoiled, and I feel like I've been almost pushing my luck and lost sight of the fact that 60 FPS is where I want to be. And honestly, I mean, there have been times in my life when I've been gaming and I didn't have the system that I really wanted to have, and I was lucky to get 20 or 30 FPS, like to the point where there's some games that are almost not even playable. But you know what? Everybody's got a different budget. We do what we do. So here I am, getting all hung up on graphics quality and losing sight of the fact that for the longest time my goal was just 60 FPS. And I believe I have a machine that can render 60 FPS. If I would just quit being a weirdo, left control Y. Right, there's an oil change. If I would just quit being a weirdo and quit being hung up on having everything at once. So I dialed back some graphic settings, and I have to say I don't really notice a difference in the quality of the render, but I definitely notice a difference in the FPS. And at the end of the day, I think that's a bigger, almost like a bigger issue, that FPS is really what can kill a game, I think, faster than anything else. So we're going to take this over here and fuel it up, and then we need to figure out, there's a couple things that I want to check while we're on this side of the map, and this is going to be sort of kind of an odd episode. Because what we're going to do is, we got our oil change, we're going to fuel up here, and then we're going to drive down to one of these fields a little bit south of the store, and we're going to see what we've got for Chop Straw Mod. I don't know if it's on this map or not, but basically what that is, if you're not familiar with it. So we've got, say, fields 32 and 34. So right now, they're not showing that they're fertilized. They don't have any fertilizer on them. But they have, because we didn't do a windrow, they have chaff on them from our combine. So we're going to go down and turn these with our power harrow and see if it counts as fertilizer. If it does, then that will be one layer, and we've already got the fertilizer over here, and that will, right, we'll run that across it, and that'll count as the second layer. So it's 130, and yeah, you can hear my voice. I'm gonna stick it out as long as I can. Right, that'll have to be enough fuel. So yeah, you see what I'm getting at. I want to see if we can make the chaff count as fertilizer. If it will. Then we're one step ahead. Right, so let's head out here. See, I think that render looks fine. And I'm a little bit, not irritated, but I'm a little bit almost embarrassed that I was getting so hung up on having everything high or very high, but not ultra. Man, like what's the shame in it I can't run ultra anyway, so it's like I've made this standard for myself that's okay, if that makes sense. Like I can't run ultra, but I can run high, but I would never want to run medium, right? Does that make sense? I think you get what I'm saying. It's like I just decided that high was good enough, right? I think I'm making sense. I might not be. I had some NyQuil earlier. Anyway, what's his name again? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Anyway, I backed down some settings. I'm not missing them, not at the minute, but I am enjoying, seeing the FPS count higher. Now, something I will say that action app video capture, it could be a settings thing, but it was cutting my FPS like literally in half. It was just wiping me out, and I have a feeling, I would love, like everybody, I would love to have a setup where everything is just dialed and all you do is play. But the problem with that is you're still going to update your drivers, right? Games are still going to patch over and have different requirements. New games are going to come out. It's like there's no one-stop set it and forget it. There's always going to be something. So I'm okay with the fact, I'm making peace with the fact that, Shadowplay lags. Well, that's not okay. I'm trying to sort it out, but I'm comfortable with knowing that, like even today, if it had, let's say we fired up Shadowplay today on ETS, and it worked just fine, and it worked fine until the next patch or whatever, and then it did that. Well, okay, so let's go to Plan B. We'll keep working on solving it. I think that's making sense. I guess what I'm saying is it's never going to be perfect, and there's always going to be problems, and that's just PC world. And even to some extent in console world. And I know consoles are getting, an Xbox is just a gaming PC. Everybody knows that. I'll go in and touch up these other little bits that I missed. But let's at least see if this counted as fertilizer. Don't back up. And sure enough, it did. Okay. So I'm going to put the JCB on a worker. Put it on course play. Right. This is field 32. No. Not what I wanted to do. This is field 32. Is that right? Field 32. 6 meter. Start from here. 2 headlands. After. Clockwise. Generate. Let's see where our field is. Right there. So we'll get this going, and then we'll go, I believe we can go do a couple more grass fields, fertilize a couple more grass fields while this is making some progress. And then when this is done, right, so turn this off. All right. Courseplay does fold the tool and drive to the first point, even if it's 2 meters away. Right. I think I need to increase my dead zone a little bit. My joysticks don't center 100%, my thumbsticks, and the point of view just keeps moving side to side. Right. Okay. Let's go do a grass field. I think, how many grass fields need? We didn't do them all already, did we? 33, I think, needs. Yep, 33. Okay. So let me get turned around here. Yep, I know where we are. Just for a minute, I forgot where the gate was. So yeah, just it's been a long weekend and I got sick. I started getting sick Saturday and it's now Tuesday and I feel like I'm past the worst of it, but I'm really not a good sick person. Some people are better at it than me. I'm terrible at being sick. And I think if I would have just jumped the fence across the street from the store, I could have got to it quicker. But we're not in a hurry. We're just farming. Never in a hurry. How did we end up with 700 pounds? That doesn't seem right. I know we paid down our loan. I didn't think we paid it down that far. Okay. Well, I think before we go any further, we paid it down to 340. Let's borrow a little walking around money. Make sure we can pay our staff. So 2 in the afternoon, late autumn. I think that field is going to be about the last one we can do. So I mean the field that the power harrow is working right now, I feel like that's going to be about as late as we can go tonight before it starts to get dark. Alright. So now we'll go in here. Get this fertilized. Yeah, and even this may be a stretch. It's surprisingly dark for 2 in the afternoon. But, so it goes. We'll be okay. I think we'll be okay once we get out of the shadows of these trees. And I am curious. I know having the massive lag that we had in Farm Sim was kind of what tipped me off to the fact that Shadowplay was the source of our lag spikes. But it's only done it that one time. And it certainly hasn't done it this time, so I'm curious. And I'm also curious if it wasn't, if it was just bottlenecking and I backed off my graphics settings and that took some load off of the graphics card, took some load off the GPU, CPU, then have we potentially eliminated that bottleneck? And I guess that's what I was trying to say earlier. I didn't say it very well. I was kind of rambling. But I tend to ramble a lot. But I think what I was getting at is, even if we do solve a problem, there's nothing to say that a game patch or a graphics driver or anything won't happen in a week or a month. And I wouldn't say break the game again. That's too strong a word for it. But just cause us a new raft of problems that we have to solve. And you know what? That's perfectly fine, because that's PC world. And if I didn't want these problems at all, I should probably get on a console. But I think, for the longest time, console didn't work for me. Because I always had PCs for work. I always had PCs and laptops around. Console didn't make much sense when I already have computers and I can just kind of steer them in the direction of something specific to gaming. right? And that's one less piece of equipment. And I do try to live a pretty simple life. I, I joke about simplicity, but I actually am kind of a Buddhist. And I'm very careful with the things I buy and the things I own. Right, that was quick. So we'll take this guy across the street, get him parked up near that field where the power harrow is working. And then the last piece of equipment on this side of the field is the T7 with the seed drill on it. And we need to decide what we want to do with that. Do we want to drill another field on this side of the map this winter? I don't want to run out of things to do in the spring. What do you think? I don't know. I'm really kind of undecided right now. So 27 to 28 have 3 layers. 24 has 3 layers. Yeah. Are you seeing anything wrong with this render? Because I'm not. And I'm not. Oh, this is it right here. I think. I think for now, just leave this right here. Is there enough room for... Yeah, the JCB can get through there, right? And we're off the road. Yeah. Right. I'm going to mute for just a second and clear my throat. I'll be right back. Okay. So, let's see how the JCB is getting on. Man, Courseplay, I swear, every time they patch it or update it, they just add more and more and more features to it. It's another one of those mods that I can't believe is free because it's just so helpful and so awesome. Right. 14 minutes. Okay. What can we do in 14 minutes? We could probably drill canola into 27 to 28. What do you say? Do you want to do that? Actually, we won't be able to do that. We'll be able to go get the T7. Let me do this before I forget. Once again, turn off buy seed. Right. We're going to run down and get the T7. We're going to take it to the store and fill it, and same as last time, because we don't have a front loader on this side of the map, we will get the handbags and throw them in. Okay. That might take a few minutes. And then we may get started on 27 and 28. We may just drive the T7 down there and sort of tee it up. And then we also have this field can be power harrowed, and it's got the straw on it, the straw chaff. So that will turn into fertilizer. That'll be one layer of fertilizer. And this one does not. 26. Field 26 is the one we just bought. It's got one layer of fertilizer on it. That fertilizer does need to be turned under with the power harrow. Or we could just drill it. No, I don't know. Let's get the T7 going first, and then we'll decide what to do next. And I think... Yeah, I always forget I have glance up in the corner, and we are, if you look up there, you can see the T7 is at 5%, so we can definitely take this down to the store and fill it. Doing okay on fuel, though, so, well, it won't hurt, I guess, to fill it. All right. Take third person for a minute. Yeah, I don't have any problem with that render. And I backed a bunch of stuff off, and we're at a solid 60 FPS. Capped at 60, we'd be over if we weren't capped. So I'm happy with that. I got hung up, like I was saying earlier. I got hung up on, cranking everything up and having everything super high, and so what if we have 1 or 2 settings on medium? It's not having an impact on me. I think it looks pretty damn good. And like I said, I can think of times when I would dream about a game that's rendering this well. I would love to, be in 4K. I'd love a lot of things, but it's not the way the world works sometimes. So one more. Right. So we'd lower this, set the brake, unfold it, take the lid off. Right. And let's buy some handbags. I need to clear some of these out. I feel like I have too many of these. And I have to say, I am definitely looking forward to corn seed, wheat seed. We could go with those. Can't pick that up. Can't pick any of these up. And none of these are seed. Okay. Those definitely aren't seed. Too many mods. I know I'm not the only one, but man, too many mods. Okay. So wheat seed. And how many of these did we put in last time? 9 or 10? Let's go with 6 to start. 3, 4, 5, 6. Six of them, right. This is, I don't know how I feel. I don't know if this is realistic or just tedious. Hard to say. We're sort of killing time till the JCB is done. All right. It's 3. When I first started playing this game in 2015, FS 2015, I would just cheat in like 20 million euro, $20 million, whatever, and just buy whatever and kind of sandbox it. And I would buy a telehandler or a front loader and just leave it at the store. Right? And I could load anything. Which was cool. Not very realistic. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess one way you could do it would be to cheat in enough money to buy a front loader and then take it back down to what your regular balance is, almost like the store owns the front loader, right? So it doesn't cost you any money. It's just always there, and then you could say, well, it's the store's front loader. But I don't know. Something about that feels kind of... So, in the interest of realism, we are hand loading these little sacks. And I think we got 1 or 2 more, and we'll call it good. Where are we at? 90? Let's go 1 more. $97. Yep, we'll call it. So, start it up. Lift it up. Fold it up. And let's get this started refueling, and we'll run over to JCB and see how it's doing on time. Right. It had, what, 14 minutes? And that was 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes? Let's see how we're doing. 7 minutes. So what we'll do is this. I'm going to take the JCB, not the JCB. What's the one we were just in? The T7. I'm going to take the T7 down to field 27 and 28. And I think we'll call it an episode. Yeah, because that'll be about 30 minutes. And then next time we can do a little more power harrowing. Is that a word? Yeah, you know what I meant. We'll do a little bit more power harrowing, and we'll do a little bit more fertilizing, and we'll do a little bit more drilling. And I think that'll be just about it for this side of the map. And then we've got a little bit more grass to harvest and fill the BGA. And then I think that's it for the year. And I'm probably, because we don't really have any animals. Did I drive past the... No, it's right here. Because we don't really have any animals. We have sheep, but they're no fun to take care of. What I will probably do is then take us all the way through to spring. Off camera, I'll take us all the way through to spring. Or maybe we'll do 1 or 2 days with the snow. I don't know. The snow never really did it for me. I know a lot of people were looking forward to the snow and plowing and shoveling snow in seasons. Never really did it for me. It's the same as logging. To me, this is just me. Nobody else has to feel this way, but just me personally, I feel like it's a farm simulator. I just want to farm. I don't want to log. I don't want to plow snow, do construction, right? Mine for gold. I just want to farm. That's my thing. Right. Okay. There's T7. So we'll leave that there. We'll run back to the JCB. And I think we're just about done for the day. We'll call it an episode. And we have not had any of those lag spikes. I don't know if that's just good luck, or if that's that we backed off the graphics settings, or maybe the one time that it happened in Farm Sim was just a one-time thing. So, there we go. This game, the surround sound is decent on this game, and you can hear equipment quite a ways off. Oh, this guy's making tracks. He's almost done. And I'm feeling like... it does that sometimes. It kind of misses a headland. Oh, you know what? It didn't miss a headland. We already did a headland. That's I couldn't figure out why it was... Right? Because if you look back that way, that's done. It's like 100% done. And I was thinking, how did it finish 7 minutes of work in a minute and a half? Okay, so we'll ride this around to the other side of the field, and then we'll call it an episode. And I'll come back and get those little missed bits on my own. Right. This was... I guess this all came about because our soy crop didn't come in. But we had some extra time, and we had equipment on this side of the map, so we went with Plan B. Works out that way a lot in my world. There's a lot of Plan Bs for me. That's just fine. I also have to remember to drop this power harrow off and not keep it. In fact, I should probably drop it off tonight and then rent it again tomorrow. Oh well, we'll see. So, stop right there. Lift it. Fold it. Very cool. Hey folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 2017. We'll see you next time. Take care now.